Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? You got the King Games 98 here.
And Mr. Squatch on the cam.
Yep. And as I promised, I already have two of the three total videos uploaded to my channel.
Got PS4 and PS3, which is part 1 and 2, whatever, how he lists it.
Of using my Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro on a console. And now we're going to finally do it on a Switch.
Now, as you can see, it's kind of hard because this is my setup. I got my, stereo system, PS3, Wii, and PS4, but the Switch docks are right behind that Wii, next to the air freshener.
It's there. It's kind of tucked in.
It's in there, so don't worry about it. But we also kind of ran into an issue when we were trying to set this up, and we never knew why. Obviously, you guys didn't get to see the first few cuts of this because we were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I had one little brain birth of why it wasn't registering. Because, if you're ever having problems, and I'm sure a lot of people probably are, if you haven't done like a PS4 Pro, not a PS4 Pro, a Pro controller,
or just a wired controller,
any wired controller or whatever, and it's not registering, then you probably would have already found this in the settings. But for the people that don't and haven't, like us, trying to figure this out, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna.
Well, okay. So first off, that was good. But before that, you want to make sure on the Arcade Stick Pro, on the side of it, it is switched on the side. So the top switch has to be set to the clear white circle, and then the bottom switch, I can talk,
has been set to 3.
Right below that has to be on number 3. So first off, before you even do anything...
Because if you have it on the solid circle, it states it as a console.
Console setting, yeah.
And when you switch it to the clear one, it becomes the controller settings. And then the different switches, like 1, 2, and 3, is just the platforms, I believe.
Yes.
Except for when you're doing it on the PS4, PS3, or Switch, has to be on 3.
It has to be on 3,
I'm not too sure what the first two are, but the first one is for consoles, correct?
Yes. I think 2 is PC.
Yes, that's probably right.
Okay. So, right off the bat, before you do anything, if you have an Arcade Stick Pro, you have to make sure it's set to these settings. Then, on the actual Switch console...
As we will pan back out a little bit here. Yes, that's my mask collection up there, as anybody probably seen. We'll try and get back into frame here. There we go. Now, yes, like I said, so best thing to do, you go to System Settings, and then you're going to scroll down to, let's see here, Controllers and Sensors, and you're going to see that it says Change Grip Order, Controller Vibration On, Pro Controller Wired Communication, and you can see that it's switched off right now. You're going to hit that. NFC functionality cannot be used when a controller uses wired communication to use Amiibo, all that good stuff. Disconnect the USB, all that goodness. Switch that on. Now you will be able to go back to controllers, change grip order, and then with the seat, and now it registers. Now show the good people what the button format is for doing that again.
So, I believe
the top two are L and R, and then the bottom two are ZL and ZR.
Yes, I'm not sure which is which, but yes.
Well, I mean, you got to figure it's left and right buttons, so it would be left and right.
Yeah, I mean that's what I can understand.
Exactly, and that's exactly how you're able to sync up your Arcade Stick Pro to your Nintendo Switch so that it registers it as a Pro controller. And as you can see from the indication, because we couldn't figure that out.
Oh, no.
And I'm sure as anybody's trying to do research to figure this out, you've seen people just say, oh, it just plugs in and that's perfectly fine.
No.
These are also probably the same people that already have a Pro controller and have already set that feature on.
So in other words, they would already know what to do, and or I guess when you would plug it in, it would just sync right in. Well,
exactly.
I don't have a single wired controller for my Switch. As of right now, I have 3 controllers, all wireless, including the Joy-Cons. So I never even knew to do this. Tyler was actually the one who found it out.
I was just diddle farting around while I was taking a shit with my Switch, and was just going through the settings. I'm like, what if I could find something? And boom, lo and behold, it was right there. And I was like, what if we did that? I texted Brendan, and I was like, dude, have you tried this? And he's like, no, I'm not home. I'll do that. And so for the sake of the video, we put it back. But that's... the biggest, like, that's the biggest relief to figure out, like, it's not just false advertisement of, you can play it on this, this, and this. You really can.
The Game Link adapter really does work, although that's dead serious. If you don't have that adapter, you cannot just use the Arcade Stick Pro just because it has a USB end. Oh, it's a USB, it'll fit and it'll work. No, it won't work.
Yeah, that's another thing. But also, like I said, if you did get the Game Link adapter and you're wondering why the instructions aren't being clear about it, it's because the instructions aren't going to tell you to go into system settings and do that.
Yeah.
So it's just, it sucks. But like I said, no fear. Now you know. As to my knowledge, this is the only video I've ever found to tell you to go into the settings and change that to turning Pro Wireless on. So now that that's gone, we can start getting into the actual meat of this video, playing some games. Something a little bit different than fighting games, finally.
Yes. So I actually have a couple of Neo Geo games downloaded to my Switch. Metal Slug 1, Ghost Pilots, Guardian Mark of the Wolves, Polestar, and 3 Count Bout. So, because no more fighting games, we're going to start off with 3 Count Bout and watch me get my ass handed to me.
So it's not entirely just... It's not entirely like a fighting game. It's more of wrestling, but it's still kind of a fighting format from what I could tell from that picture.
Yeah, it kind of sort of is, but it's cool because...
It's more than just like an MMA fighting. It's more wrestling than anything else. And I like that it has the Japanese version and the English version.
I know. Ironically enough, in Japan it was called Fire Suplex Wrestling. In the US it was 3 Count Bout.
So... You remember plus and minus is the start and select, remember?
That's the home button. That's right. I knew that.
Yeah, that's something. And when you're playing it on the Switch, when you're used to being, you know, all that stuff.
Oh, no.
When you're used to playing it on PS4 and PS3, starting it off on the Switch is a little bit weird.
Okay.
So, and as you've seen there for a brief moment, it showed you the different buttons for the controls, which was actually very helpful for someone like... For, say, Brendan, who's now, this is actually his first time playing
100 Mega Shock!
There you go. This is actually his first time playing this, actually, on the Switch, using the Arcade Stick Pro.
It is.
So we're all learning together.
It is, and we are. Okay, there we go.
Oh, look at that. As you could probably saw... It had the button layout on the top there.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually really cool. Had the different colored things. See, look at that. You can see it on the top. It has the joystick and the buttons to tell you which is which.
There we go.
That was actually really cool.
It was, wasn't it?
Now, is that because the Pro control? Is it because the arcade stick's plugged into it, or is that just how the game tells you?
That's just regularly how it is.
Ah, well then that's my bad. But it's still helpful.
Actually, Neo Geo SNK was very smart, and they did that with a lot of Neo Geo games.
Really?
Yeah,
that's good.
They were really smart about that. Okay, we're gonna be this dude because why not?
Now we start the SWF official match. The rookie champion.
You can turn the volume up if you'd like, because we have Surround Sound. Bottom right.
I could never get past this dude. And I'm probably still not going to get past him.
He looks like an Aztec god.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were going for, I think. Alright. Alright, that's jump. Okay. Alright. And wow, he just... Oh, crap.
For being 2D, this is definitely a 3D platform as far as like moving back and forth and being exactly where your locations are.
Ow.
Oh,
dear God.
And here we have Brendan getting his ass kicked.
Yep. It's happening. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, it's happening. This is what I get for trying to get a non-fighting Neo Geo game.
Oh, straight to the face!
Hey, I hit him. That counts for something. Holy crap, how did they do that?
Here we have Brendan getting his ass kicked.
Yep. My body is Reggie, but I'm still getting my ass kicked.
Just a bit.
And he doesn't work at Nintendo anymore, so I can't say that.
His memory will live on forever.
Oh dear God.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna get bodied.
Couldn't even take that out.
Nope.
Well, that was a good couple minutes of fighting. On to the next one, shall we?
Yep.
Alright, we will be back.
I suck at that.
We will be back un momento. We're back. We're back!
With some Metal Slug.
Metal Slug! Let's go to high school. Boom, boom, boom.
I love this game series so much.
I like how that school shooting joke just flew right over your head.
No, I heard it.
I know.
I heard it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get it.
Mission 1, start. Heavy machine gun.
Welcome to the game that wishes it was Contra.
Pretty much. I mean, no, people...
This is Contra Vietnam.
No, people-
Shoot up the pig farm.
No, people have compared Metal Slug as to, like, a not serious Contra.
Pretty much. Like I said, this is more or less like a Vietnam Contra.
Yeah.
Does look fun as hell, though.
Oh, I freaking love Metal Slug. If you love Contra, you would love Metal Slug.
For that brief 3 seconds we played it on your cheap, $10, 501,
Yeah.
NES remake, NES Mini, then yeah. Okay, now this is really Vietnam. You're just shooting up villagers' houses. What the fuck? These poor people.
Rocket launcher!
Oh,
Oh, there's the tank. You gotta get in the tank, son.
that's if you don't die.
Look at it, the freaking tank jumps. I love it.
Oh, what the fuck?
I know, it's great, isn't it? Well, I better get out.
Yeah.
And I died.
That tank did not last long.
No, it did not.
As the great words of Tech 9 and Tekashi 69. Stupid! I ain't gonna let you get the chance! I had to.
This uncultured swine.
I'm cultured enough to know that he went from getting life in prison to only like 2 years. I'm just kidding, it's only like, what, 12 months? No, yeah, 2 years. It's supposed to be 4 years, but he already served 2, so technically he only got 2 years. Because he snitched on his own gang. So he'll be out in dead in 10 minutes after getting out of jail.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jeez, these poor POWs in their long ass beards. Jesus.
I know.
You're a monster, my god.
Well, no, you save them, and then they give you...
Oh, I thought they were attacking you.
No,
Okay.
they give you underwear, and then it's power-ups.
Oh. I don't feel right that that grown men are giving me their underwear.
Well, yeah, but you know what? That's luck for you.
Yeah, whatever works, man. Aw.
Let me see if I can beat this boat. This is like the final stage crap boss.
Oh, you
Thank
died.
God for unlimited continues.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a real arcade, but yeah.
Well, yeah. The real arcade certainly wouldn't have that.
No.
Damn it.
I mean, you probably could have unlimited, restarts if you had unlimited quarters from your parents.
Yeah. Huh. Rocket
Oh,
launcher. Holy
just slit
crap.
his throat.
Oh, Oh, wait, I gotta get that. I gotta get that. Come on. Oh my gosh. Damn it.
Jeez, you die pretty easily, don't you?
Yeah.
It's not like you take 3 hits and then go down. No, you just die.
Also
This
like,
is real war.
Also like Contra.
This is real war.
War has changed.
War never changes. Just like my mesothelioma for working in the asbestos factories. You can't see it off screen, but this poor man's disappointed that I live. But at what cost? At what cost?
Well,
Alright, so that's that one. We'll be right back. And we're back again. Only been a split second for y'all, but been a minute and a half for us.
alright, so we're gonna finish out testing out the Arcade Stick Pro with some Ghost Pilots.
Yes. Even though they look alive to me, but you know.
Oh, this is another board game. Yeah. Even though
Kind of like the old like NES, like with the
Yeah.
just going around in a plane over a map.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Oh no, it's fun.
Oh yeah, that kind of like format. Yeah.
Alright, I know what I'm doing.
Oh, that'd be cool if you could play it first person like that.
I'm gonna die in like 5 seconds, but
Who cares?
I know what I'm doing.
Fortunate sun starts to intensify.
Alright.
And you died already.
Yep.
I'm gonna die real quick. Boom! Dead.
Oh, this is great with the Arcade Stick.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, the Arcade Stick Pro is definitely made for the old souls of our age, and for the older generation that wants to relive their youth by going to the arcades and stuff. This definitely is like something that can go like transcend different generations, man.
Yes.
That's something great about that arcade stick.
It really is. I am so freaking glad
It brings back the nostalgia of being able to have that extra little bit of money from your parents that would have gotten it for you for the original Genesis, or even like the Nintendo brand ones, or even the PlayStation the ASCII or whatever that is. ASCIIware, brand one. It just it's amazing. So
this is wonderful. I'm so glad.
It's fun to play on a big screen, and then also if you really wanted to make it full. I bet you if somebody was crafty enough, like if I was ever actually crafty enough, I would honestly design my own arcade type like cabinet to be able to hold my Arcade Stick Pro with a TV controller and play old arcade type games with it. Like I wish I was more crafty like my grandfather to be able to do something like that. I mean shit, if somebody can make a freaking Nintendo Switch sized TV type thing with like the Joy-Cons being on the side of a TV screen and making it look like a giant Switch, then I should be able to apply myself and do something like that. It's just that I'm poor and I have no time off of work. Just like everybody else that probably wants to play this game and only bought it once and can't ever play it again.
Yep. Yeah, this is another game where you will die a lot.
Oh, definitely, but it's definitely, graphically, it's amazing.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
This would be a very good 2-player game as well, from what it seems,
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is back when couch co-op was, like, life.
Dude, this was couch co-op at its finest.
Yes.
So...
I mean, this is also made in 1991, even though it's remastered for the Switch. It's 1991 was the only had couch co-op.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's still amazing, though.
It is. Boy, you get that S. So, fun fact for you. You remember how at the start of 3 Count Bout, it said the 100 Mega Shock?
Yeah.
What that meant is that specific game was 100 megs. And Neo Geo games, instead of, Sega and Nintendo going by bits, this is the first stage boss.
So yeah, instead of being like 32-bit or 64-bit.
SNK and Neo Geo went by megs, which is essentially another word for bits.
Yeah.
And so when they made certain games and they were graphically that Wow, I just got my ass burnt.
Torched.
When they came out with certain games that were graphically so superior that it was like 100 megs, they called it the 100 mega shock.
Yeah.
And then that was their logo, which I love. I wanted to like get that made on a custom T-shirt. So yeah, just thought I'd explain that.
Yeah, that's a very good fun fact.
Yeah.
Especially since hopefully SNK will be sponsoring this video.
I would love them to like.
Well, I mean, we already had the first one. The initial unboxing
Yeah.
had been featured on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So you know what, SNK, if you're watching this, we would love it if you could feature all 3 of the videos we had in this series. That would be amazing. We would love that.
I would love to see that. You guys would make my day.
I mean, you definitely, like, Brendan, you've already been SNK and, like, Neo Geo fan since, like, day one, but since this unboxing arcade and, like, this whole recording experience, it's definitely turned me on. That's for sure.
It's gotten more
It's
attention.
so...
It's gotten Neo Geo out there, which is great.
Like I said, you turned somebody who had, like, barely even heard of Neo Geo onto being a fan of, like, it, you know?
That makes me feel so good, and I must be doing something right.
Well, you and SNK. There you go, after the 13th time of dying. So, anyway.
And with that is the first stage, and that is going to conclude the review of testing out the Arcade Stick Pro on a Switch. Of the 3 games, they were all great. Playing it on it, I would probably say the best were Metal Slug and Ghost Pilots.
Definitely.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily the
but
best.
Not because you just got raped by, a wrestler, but just in general, very much so. It is for any format of arcade-style games, whether it be Smash or, like you said, Metal Slug, Ghost Fighters, any kind of, or any fighting games, it is definitely an all-around great tool to use, especially when you got that game link.
So
even just the console alone, it is an amazing thing. I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10. Like, seriously, like, if Nintendo... I'm surprised Nintendo hadn't come up with this, like...
I know.
After they came out with the Switch. Instead of making the Switch Lite, they should have done something like this to compete. But nope. SNK snuck up and butt-fucked that game. Shout out to Eminem.
But yeah, no. I still have... I don't regret buying this. I love it. I give it both... In my review video, I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I thought it could have used more genres of games, of Neo Geo games.
Being downloaded onto it?
Being built into it.
Yes.
But SNK already has Metal Slug 1 and 2 on this, which I don't know how to get. But, so that's a step in the right direction.
Either way, it's still 9.5. I only go 9.5, even though I just said 10 out of 10. I go 9.5 out of 10 just because it's only maxed out at 720p. For being a console, being only maxed at 720p, doesn't make that much of a difference being 1080. But as far as a controller and being able to use it on all 3 different consoles, I give it a 20 out of 10. Like that's just amazing.
I was about to say, so my final rate, like in my review video, for this as a console is a 9 out of 10. That's going to stand. But for the Arcade Stick Pro as a controller itself and using it on consoles, perfect. 10 out of 10. SNK, you freaking nailed it. I hope to God you guys stay in business and make more Neo Geo hardware.
Absolutely. You guys gotta keep going, man. You just
have to.
You made a fan out of somebody who had barely even, did anything with it.
For God's sakes, it says on the box, carry on the legacy. The legacy lives on. Guys, you gotta continue to make hardware on the Neo Geo brand.
Absolutely. So with that, we hope SNK gets to hear our voice and post this and amazingness. Yes. And for those of you who are new to the channel and get to see this, definitely give a follow, this stuff. Yes. Man, blow it up and get yourself an SNK Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro. Get it.
And especially if you have a Switch, guys, and,
or a PS3 or a PS4 everybody else.
Really any console, doesn't really matter. But specifically Switch, there are so many Neo Geo games you could go right on the eShop and buy.
And you don't even need Neo Geo games. Just any kind of games that doesn't require a second analog stick.
But if you really wanted to go Neo Geo, there is a shitload of Neo Geo games on the Switch, and they're all $8 a piece.
Absolutely.
It is worth it if you're a diehard fan like I am.
Like I said, you made a fan out of somebody who's never even thought about it.
Like, whether you want to relive memories or you want to play some old school great arcade games, you have multiple ways where you could
teach
play
these kids that are growing up on VR and all this crap to learn what made video games.
The origins, yes.
Exactly.
Where they started, yes.
And with that, we conclude our video with being a 9 out of 10 for being a console and a 10 out of 10 as being a controller.
Arcade stick controller. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.